Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately, Strickland. Well, I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Doug.
Nice guy community. I'm really curious what your thoughts are about this. What would be alternative uses for the COVID test? Okay, you can take any component of the COVID test. You can take the little swabs that
clean your ears, right? Use them like Q-tips. Yeah,
the swabs that are in there. You can use the packaging however you want. You can use the little antigen that's in there, whatever that liquid that's in there.
I've heard it makes a tasty cocktail. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, you make an old fashioned, put a couple drops of that in. Good.
It's like bitters. It's COVID bitters.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. So if you could be here around 9, that would be great. Okay. And I almost forgot. I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in on Sunday too, okay? We lost some people this week, and we sort of need to play catch up. The nice guys on business are not really carrying their weight. Most days, they take their meds. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. No interviews, no business content. Just your two favorite slack-jawed mouth breathers ranting about whatever. Now, strap yourselves in for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
I have no power.
Wasn't all the power in the January 6th congressional hearing?
Is that how we're starting? We're starting the episode with politics.
Well,
welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler, also known as Woodward and Bernstein.
I do like to poke the bear. I'm going to poke the bear.
I just checked the voicemail folder and there are no voicemails. So,
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, that's good. It gives us 30 minutes that we can talk about a few things. Number one, it is as of the recording of this, it is, I believe, the third night of Hanukkah, but as of the playing of this, I think it's like the fifth or the sixth night. I don't remember. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's that one. On the eighth night of Hanukkah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's I don't really do a lot with celebration of Hanukkah. When the kids were little, we used to do that, but we don't now. Do you do a tree or anything at your house?
We didn't this year. We're just chilling. We took it easy. I got a tree that we set up sometimes, but it's just me and Riley, and like we've got like maybe one or two gifts for each other, and we're like, we could set up a tree, but it'd be very lonely with like just a couple of presents under it. So screw it. We didn't.
So what typically what does a gift look like in the Bonner household? Some families go like so fucking overboard with holiday gifts, and it almost feels like I don't like like any holidays because I don't really like to receive gifts because I get all the gifts that I want throughout the entire year. So why do I need to get any more gifts? And to have somebody just buy me shit that I don't need just to get something on a list so that they can get me stuff, like, oh God, then you feel obligated to have to get something for somebody else. And it's like, no, I don't want to do that. But what does it look like in the Bonner house to get gifts?
By the way, I'm not getting you anything. So
that's
don't feel obligated to get me something.
I don't good.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when I didn't invite you to my daughter's wedding, not because not because I don't like you. I didn't want to obligate you to do anything.
Probably one of the first times, like somebody said, "Hey, by the way, I'm not inviting you to the wedding," and the absolute, true, honest, non-sarcastic answer was, "Thank you, I appreciate that. I really do."
And I would have the same exact answer, and because I would say that quality time probably is not either one of our love languages. What is your love language? Do you know what your love language is? I believe mine is food.
Mine is
JJ's coming back. She's trying to pour some wine. My love language is actually wine. But any idea what your love language is?
I think it's touch. I'm a very physical, touchy-feely kind of guy. Yeah.
So where in the 5 would you say that you would prioritize things like acts of service or gifts? Are they they're like the last 2 for me?
It's funny. Acts of service, I think, are up there for me. I appreciate acts of service, but not it. Like gifts are not important to me. But if it's something that is like meaningful. If it's one of these things where it's like the act of doing it or thinking about it or coming up with it
Yeah.
significant, then I really appreciate it. But the actual thing, I don't know.
All right. So I'm not a big gift guy. Like I said, it's probably the last or the second to last. However,
me too.
in a few days when we, or maybe it's a week or so, but as of the air, and maybe 2 weeks actually, by the time this thing airs, you're going to have a gift in your hand that will be the thing that I was just telling you about before. I got you something, and I got it for everybody on the TurnKey team because I think it's going to be uber ultra appreciated. But it's not one of those things you would even ever go into a store and consider, I'm going to get one of these, because you have never seen this gift before.
See, I'm dying to know what it is. You keep teasing this. You've been teasing this, and I'm dying to know what it is. And I won't even find out until a couple of weeks after Christmas, right? Until the 13th when we get together.
I'm hoping that the bill does not appear on my Chase card before you.
I don't look at your Chase card anyway. So even if it's on there and I know where I would see it. Yeah.
It's a good thing. And we got a couple of dollars in the TurnKey bank account. You saw the balance. Have you seen the balance recently?
Not like today. Hold on, let me take a look. But I know it's been Christmas lately.
Take a look. It's been Christmas for like the last 6 months. And I feel good. I know
we keep spending money and it's like, but there's still more in there.
Every time we spend it, there more seems to get in the account. And I so very much appreciate that about our business, the model that we have set up. And I even sent you a message yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. I said, what is it? What did I say?
Model. It's the model. It's a great business model.
The best business model of 2022. I can't wait to see it in 2023, but it is the subscription model. Anybody that is in our community that has a business that you can put your clients on the subscription model, it is so great. Not just because there's a constant stream of income coming in the door, but it's a predictable amount of revenue for not only your business, but for your customer too. Your customer doesn't have to budget they can budget the same amount of money every month. Even if we provide greater services or lesser services, the same amount of money. And we never have to go back to them and say, you did one more episode this month. Remember we used to do that? That sucked.
Yeah, I do remember it. It did suck. It totally sucked. This is absolutely the way to go.
You can handle that with maybe about 4 clients.
Yeah, it's just not worth it to do it every month to every client.
No. I forgot what you were looking up something. What were you looking up?
I was looking up the text that you sent me. You said best business model ever subscriptions.
Oh, right. Oh, you were also looking up the Wells Fargo balance.
and it's Merry Christmas to us. Happy Hanukkah. Yeah, it's very good.
And
we got some big bills to pay before the end of the year, but still, it's like my Chase bill. I've got expenses for the upcoming trip on there and some other things. But
that is okay.
Still, we've got plenty of money in the bank. It's a great thing.
It's a good, how much more confidently you can go into a business meeting or a sales call knowing that you don't have to make the sales call. I remember there was, and this has to be going back, this has to be going back to like 2018, where I was thinking, we're paying our team more than we're paying ourselves.
I know.
Why are we even doing this?
Yeah, we've definitely paid our dues, no doubt.
Okay, I want to get to the thing that I really I don't understand where it's going, and I'm sure it's going to go somewhere that it's going to be okay. But the whole idea behind the January 6th congressional hearing, so they have no power, but they're making a recommendation. Is that all the outcome is?
That's my understanding. I don't even know. It's been going on for so long, and as soon as the new Congress comes in, like in 2 weeks. The committee is dissolved. Like the Republicans have already said, we're getting rid of this. So that's why they had to make their final, announcements. Cause it's like, hey, we're going to be nothing in 2 weeks. So we might as well do this. What's more interesting to me is the Trump tax returns that have been, they haven't totally been made public.
Okay,
yet,
wait, we'll go into that. But I just want to spend a quick second just talking about the 4 criminal charges that were referred to the Department of Justice from the committee based upon what they have, ascertained over the last, I don't know, however long they've been carrying out these hearings. Obstructing an official proceeding. So that I guess that would be, they stopped Congress from from trying to swear in Biden, defrauding the United States. I think every day in office he was defrauding the United States. I think, pretty sure, making false statements. All anybody has to do is actually go to Twitter to realize that Trump is making false statements all the time, and assisting or aiding an insurrection. Well, he said, I told him to stop. I told him to go home. I told him to go home. Like, really? That was how you told him to go home? And even in his admission of I told him to go home, it was more like, but if this kangaroo court kind of tries to actually because they have no power, I guess that's why they're the kangaroo court. But if they actually make something happen through the Department of Justice, the people are not going to stand for it, is basically what he's saying. So if for some reason they bring any charges against him, he's going to do the same thing that he did when it came to swearing in, Biden into office. Which
he's just going to delay, and keep throwing lawyers at it. And exactly.
Okay,
and that's what he's been doing with his 27 lawsuits that are going on right now. Yeah.
So if he doesn't go to jail, do you think Giuliani's going to go to jail? If Giuliani doesn't go to jail, do you think Eastman's going to go to jail? If Giuliani and Eastman don't go to jail, who the hell is going to go to jail for this? Is anyone?
I honestly have very little faith that any of them are going to go to jail, as much as I hate to say it. It's terrible. What's interesting to me is, like Marjorie Taylor Greene right now is saying, hey, as soon as we get our Republican majority in the House, the first thing we're going to do is investigate that crooked DOJ and the crooked FBI. Now, this is from Republicans, right? Who, when Black Lives Matter was big, they were all like, the police are good. They're exaggerating things. And when people were saying defund the police, they were like, cops are good. They know what they're doing. And then as soon as the FBI and the DOJ say, we think this Republican president might have done something wrong. You're a fucking liar. What the actual fuck? I'm sorry, but it's the same thing with, I was reading a fucking opinion
you
piece
looked like
today.
For a second, you guys didn't see this, but Strickland actually looked like Animal, the drummer from the Muppets.
Well, I had to back away from the mic, so I wasn't like screaming at people and breaking things up. I saw there was an opinion piece today about like the Speaker of the House thing, and I don't think it was Matt Gaetz that wrote it. Somebody wrote it who's against Kevin McCarthy, right?
Yeah,
and basically he says, here's why you shouldn't vote for Kevin McCarthy, because Kevin McCarthy was all for giving more money to Ukraine and applying no-fly zones to Russia. He's basically saying that that Kevin McCarthy was actually against Russia. Like, he's basically defending Russia. But the only reason he's defending Russia is because the Dems were for Ukraine. This is what kills me. Okay. If somebody could explain this to me, and look, like, seriously, I would like to know about this from a Republican, because as soon as it's died down some now, right? But when the war in Ukraine started, the Republicans are all fucking backing Russia. They're backing Russia. And did they back Russia just because the Democrats backed Ukraine? Like, Russia's been our fucking enemy for 50 goddamn years. Is it just because Trump said Putin's a good guy, and all of a sudden all of the Republicans are like, oh, well, if Trump said so, he must be a good guy. I guess we've been wrong for the last 50 years. I just don't get this. I don't get it.
I think UPS is at my door. My superhero trading card has actually just arrived. I'll be right back.
Yeah, the $99 NFTs for Trump, of course. There's that too.
Hey, do me a favor. Go to the lower left-hand side of your Zoom screen, next to the mute button. Hit the up arrow. You got that?
Why am I not on my mic?
I want to try something here. Hit the up arrow and then go to the last setting. It says audio settings. You see that?
Yeah, I know. What are you trying to get?
Just follow. You know what? You're just like a fucking guest. Just stand by. Just follow my instructions for a second, would you?
Okay.
Hit audio settings.
Patient. It's the little up carrot, right?
Okay.
And you want me to go into the audio settings menu?
Yes, and then the settings screen will open up. Is that correct? Yes. on your desktop? Great. In the background noise suppression, what is checked off?
Auto.
Okay, get rid of that fucking auto. Put it on low. That's number one. The other thing is automatically adjust microphone volume. Is that selected or
turn that shit off too?
Turn that off too, because that's why your microphone cuts out when you start yelling. So now is everything the way? Go ahead. Now is it?
I didn't realize that. I mean, I never thought about it.
Okay, now
I'm off of automatic adjust and I'm on low.
Okay, can you give me just a rant scream for a second? Just give me a rant scream. Just give me
a rant scream.
Yeah, I just want
to but should I should back off the mic when I do it though? Right?
Yeah, however whatever you just did a second ago, that was perfect, but it cut out as soon as you raised your level. So
I got it. Okay, yes, it was trying to automatically adjust my level. Right, I got it. So I should say so. I'm trying to think about what to say. Like, it just has to come naturally.
Just give me any comment that Animal would make as
or Grover. Yes, that's a fucking excellent idea.
Yeah, now you're perfect. Now it does not cut out on you. No, everybody will be able to hear that, and we are good. Now we got full metal jacket Strickland Bonner. Sorry, Strick. I didn't mean to take you through the guest process there.
You could have just said, "Hey, can you open up your auto settings and check that for me?" Because
okay,
whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway,
you're solid, man.
This is just what kills me, right? And maybe it's just because I don't know. It seems to me, I feel like never mind. I'm not even going to go there. But you had a subject you wanted to talk about? It feels to me like, and this may just be because the way I'm seeing it, right? That the Republicans are like, whatever the boss says, I'm going to go with, and I'm not going to question it. And I don't see Democrats doing that. Like when Trump comes in and says Putin's a good guy, Russia's okay. Every Republican is like, oh,
okay, but it's like,
good. I'm glad to know that.
It's actually because I think of it a little differently. I don't remember Office Space. That's exactly that was the name of it. Yeah. I think of Trump more like the guy that's the boss in Office Space. Yeah, I'm going to have you go ahead and come in on Sunday.
Now I know which intro I'm going to use today. Yeah, we're a little behind. I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday. Yeah.
No, just take my stapler away. Just don't take my stapler. I just feel like if he wasn't there, nobody would even know or care that he wasn't there. The fact that he is there and wields the amount of power that he does, I think people get punch drunk in his power and they want to serve him because he's going to anything that he say. He's got like the fucking Midas touch. Except for his taxes.
Well, but this is what kills me with like the FBI and the DOJ, that the Republicans are like, the first thing we're going to do is open a fucking investigation. It's like this stuff was, my understanding is these investigations were started by people that Trump appointed or at least and it's just crazy. It's like, if I were to just praise the police and then I get arrested for something and immediately I'm like, fuck the police, right? Like, what the fuck? Right. That's exactly what they're doing. Yeah. They're like, they arrested somebody that's a friend of mine. There's no way a friend of mine could have possibly done something wrong. Like, guys, fucking open your eyes. God damn.
All right, talk to me about the tax return thing. I'm very curious what you know. I don't know much about this. I've been too busy listening to the results of the committee, to even get into the tax return thing yet.
So the last 6 years, the House Ways and Means Committee now has the last 6 years of Trump's tax returns, and they've released not all the details yet. They've released like some of the information from it, and they're talking about actually releasing the full blown taxes, which the Republicans are fighting against, which is super funny. I heard a quote, and I can't tell you which politician said it, but basically he said, "Hey, don't play this card. If you do play this card, we're going to make sure that every Democratic fucking elector, anybody that even runs for office for president, we are going to force them to show us their taxes." Good. To which my answer is, every candidate for the last 50 years has done this voluntarily except Trump. So I don't know if you realize how weak a fucking argument that is, asshole.
Well, I don't even understand the argument. Why? what is the problem with share if the tax returns are given to whoever needs to be viewing them? What's the difference between all of those people viewing them and the public viewing them? Wouldn't the more scrutinied eyes be in the first group that receives the tax return?
Well, the thing is, he just didn't want anybody to see him. I mean, that was it. And what's interesting is, and I'm going to read this thread from Twitter. Because this guy, Tom Hartman, understands it way better than I do. He's like a political guy, right? Okay. So he says, let's put the House Ways and Means Committee releasing Trump's tax returns in context. While Spiro Agnew was Richard Nixon's vice president, he was taking bribes in the White House. Literally. People came to the White House with briefcases full of money for him. Agnew was taking bribes for years prior to that when the governor of Maryland, Nixon, the nation later discovered, was also taking bribes. The milk lobby brought him $500,000 in cash, as did Jimmy Hoffa, to stop the DOJ from prosecuting him. When Congress learned about the Nixon-Agnew bribery scandal, they acted. The 1977 Congress passed a law requiring the IRS to automatically audit the tax return of every president from that point forward. 1977. The idea was that any future president taking bribes or putting interest in somebody who was paying him, be it a company, an individual, even a foreign government, ahead of the interests of the United States, could be caught. That IRS automatic audit program has been largely irrelevant because every president since 1977 has voluntarily disclosed their tax returns, although the IRS nonetheless audited every president from Jerry Ford to Barack Obama until Donald Trump. He really should have been audited, as the law requires, to determine if he was putting the interests of his own business or a foreign government ahead of those in America. By the way, this isn't like some opinion piece. This is just the law and the facts. Okay.
Right.
After all, he had refused to share his tax returns with the American people. But Trump managed to get his own IRS not to audit him as the law requires. As a fail-safe, the 77 law says that one single committee in Congress, and only one, has the power to break the IRS seal of privacy and examine any president's tax returns. That's the Ways and Means Committee. Congressman Richie Neal, chairman of that committee, submitted the routine request, just a regular request for Trump's tax returns, and was stonewalled. He then fought Trump in the courts for years. Now that we finally have the returns, we know that the IRS itself had been corrupted by Trump. Okay, that's his opinion. I will give him that. That's his opinion.
Right.
But he has some interesting facts to back that opinion up. That requires legislative action to tighten the IRS overnight and will probably require a criminal investigation. But the final big question is whether Trump, like Nixon and Agnew, was behaving corruptly while in office. It's going to take weeks or even months to figure that out. So stay tuned.
Well, before you go on, it's like the bribes aren't illegal. The fact that you are not reporting the bribes is tax evasion. Is that kind of what it? So if Agnew took $500,000 from the milk lobby and didn't report that income, they're not saying that taking the bribe was illegal. They're saying not reporting the income, thereby paying the taxes on it, was illegal. So we're going to put you in jail for that.
I guess it would be a way to
right back end somebody to actually have to disclose what the fuck is going on. Right. I got it.
And with Trump's tax returns, what they found was that in a couple of years, he made no money at all because he had a lot of business write-offs from his business losses. But there was one year that he made about $24 million. And it was because he sold a bunch of properties. And so he had to pay the taxes on that. Now, that year that he made $24 million, he paid $1 million in taxes. You know what percentage that is of the income? Like what tax bracket does that put him in?
I think that puts you in the 4% tax bracket.
4%, dude! You are right on the goddamn money.
Is that right?
$1 million on $24 million in revenue.
It's a little bit more than 4%. It's like 4.4%, I believe.
Yeah. That is it exactly. You are right on the money. So I'm just trying to figure out how he got in the 4% tax bracket. But then, he lost money the rest of the years, even though his kids were making $640 million a year as special liaisons to the White House while
I don't know how they do it. I have no idea, but more power to him. Yeah. No, not more power to him. That's probably not the right thing to say. He's got way too much power. So will he need to report the income? How many of those NFT little motherfucking digital cards did he sell? He didn't even have to sell a physical card for $99 a piece. How many NFTs did he make?
Well, apparently he sold about he made about $4 million on it, I think. 4.3 million I saw somewhere. I
We
don't know.
can't even sell an NFT of one of our episodes. Even the famous National Parks episode doesn't get the kind of action that one of his fucking business cards get or whatever.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
You know what? I would have bought one. I would have spent $99. I probably would have put it on the TurnKey card, and then I would have proudly emblazoned it on the cover of the Nice Guys on Business as an original. Like, how many did he sell? $4 million worth?
Yeah, which I guess at $99 a piece, what is that?
That's 400,000.
40,000 of them. Right?
40,000 of them? Jeez.
Yeah, 40,000 or so. 40 or 50.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I did tease in our text thread earlier with Jared that I did have something political bad to say about Joe Biden. Oh, and so I feel the need to be fair and balanced and say the other
well, it is, you really, until January, you probably don't really need to do it because you don't have to have a balanced, what is it? Fairness in time, or what is it called when you,
where you gotta give both political parties equal
But I don't
time.
think that starts until the election year, or we're within a year. Are we within a year? No.
Of the next election? No.
Yeah. When's the next? No, that's right. It's not until
2 years because it just happened. So we got another 2 years.
Okay. Well, you don't, fuck it. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. If you really don't want to do it, but
I think it's okay. It's okay. Because so a federal court just took judicial obstruction of Biden's presidency to a new level. But Biden had apparently made an executive order saying that it was a requirement of companies with whom the U.S. government contracts that employees be vaccinated against COVID. Now, so I believe there's already a rule or a law or executive or something that if you work for the government, like directly, you're required to be vaccinated. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm guessing that it probably is.
Okay.
Because this is a step removed from that anybody that's a contractor for the government, that all of their employees are required, and basically it got shut down. This judicial court basically said, hey, Joe, no, you can't require that. You can't do that. Which, to me, you know what? If you work directly for the government, I don't know that I agree with the decision that you have to be vaccinated, but I could see it.
All right, how about this?
How would you feel? Point of view.
How would you feel about you don't have to be vaccinated, but you have to be tested? How would you feel about that as your rule, as your, this is the MO, or this is the standard operating procedure of each week that you work for that contractor or that employer?
Well, the problem is tested. It's like, so what do you do now? Like every fucking week, you're going to get tested every week?
Weren't there companies that you had to test every time you went into the office?
I don't know about that. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, I guess the question is, okay, at what point do you stop saying something like that? Where are we right now? I heard that this is probably one of the biggest flu seasons ever. I mean, okay, and I don't want to get the flu, just like I didn't want to get COVID, but I got COVID, and I'm like, okay, so if I get the flu, I get the flu. But at the same time, at what point do you say, you don't need the COVID vaccination, but you do need to get now this year's flu vaccine because it's a busy flu year,
Yeah.
At what point do you say that? Or do you even ever have the power to say that? Can anybody say that to you?
No, I'm with you. And I think, because I personally agree with that decision. I think that to say that you're going to require any company that contracts with the government. I mean, you're not even being paid by the government directly. You're a contractor for the government. Like, for them to be able to say force you to get vaccinated, that's kind of bullshit. So I'm kind of glad that got shut down. Again, my personal view for myself is independent of what I think is right or should be legal, but I totally agree with the fact that it should not be a requirement.
Should it be a requirement of any employer? Should it be? I mean, I'm curious. I mean, I
feel that if employers want to make their own decisions, that they should be allowed to. In other words, if let's say I'm an employer and I have employees that come into a physical office, right? I'm a private employer.
Right.
If I wanted to, now I'm not saying that as an employer, I would make this decision, but I think that I should legally be allowed to require that if I wanted to. And that way somebody can choose to take the job or choose to not take the job.
Okay. So what if your employer, I'm just going to multiply this out a little bit, scale it up a little. What if your employer is the federal government?
Well, again, as I said, that's why I feel that whether I agree with the decision or not, I feel that it's fair and legal and probably shouldn't be turned over.
I'm just trying to work within your brain space, and I'm not for or against what you're saying. I'm just trying to understand. It's like, okay, what if you're an employer, you have the ability to make the decision whether you do or don't require somebody to get a vaccination. Mm-hmm. What if you are the government? The government is an employer, so should you have the ability to make the decision that anybody that works for the government has the ability, must have a vaccination? Then you can say, okay, we're not going to make the employers that are contractors for the government, we're not going to mandate that happens. We highly suggest that you encourage your employees. And then the employer says, I'm going to mandate it. I want you to have a vaccination. I mean, aren't those all basically the same thing?
Not exactly the same thing. I think it's, I support and defend the ability of the employer to make their own decision about what they will and will not allow. Now, it is a slippery slope, right? Because I say that trying to defend an employer, but then if an employer said, hey, I'm not going to hire this person because he's gay, or I'm not going to hire this person because she's black, then you're right. Fucking A, I wouldn't allow that. But I would allow somebody to say, I'm not going to hire you because you're not vaccinated. It is a slippery slope. I totally agree. And
you take it to another level. How about if you say, I am someone that is protecting my employees, and I'm mandating them to have to get a vaccination in order to work at my stadium. Now, that being said, I really want to protect my employees, so I'm going to mandate anyone that comes into my stadium, they have to be vaccinated before they can come into the stadium. Or anybody before they come on my cruise ship has to be vaccinated and prove they're vaccinated. At what point do you stop? It's like, it's total bullshit.
Well, but what you just said, I went to a couple of concerts during
COVID too,
where you had to have a vaccination card, and cruise ships for quite a while. Now, you see, it's such an interesting example because that is a tough balance, right? You get the big cruise ships nowadays, right? What do they have? 5,000 passengers and 2,000 crew, right? Yeah. Okay, so on the one hand, you want to say, hey, freedom to do whatever you want, right? But out of 7,000 people on a ship, if 5 of them have COVID, I mean, how quickly does that spread? It's a very tough balance as to what you should or shouldn't do. It really is. And obviously the cruise lines were allowed to do that. I think most of them have relaxed that a lot now. But legally they're like, I guess it's our ships and we make the decision on what level we want to put the safety of our passengers, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I don't think there's any right answer. I mean, there is an answer that I would provide, and then there's an answer that you would provide, being kind of in the middle there. And then there's an answer to somebody that is strictly, oh, no fucking way. If they're not vaccinated, I'm not going to let anybody work for me that's not vaccinated. And I'm not going to let anybody in front of my employees that's not vaccinated as well. I don't think there's any right answer, which the biggest challenge over the last, since March of 2020. That was the biggest thing that we were just dealing with. It's like, who's right? Who the fuck knows?
That's the thing. Nobody's right. That's what makes it so hard, right?
What was the country that provided no vaccinations, no mandates, and no anything? What was that? I think you mentioned this a few weeks ago on one of the episodes, didn't you? Wasn't there maybe you did. Maybe it was another conversation that I had with somebody, some country or something. They had no mandate, no vaccine, no anything. Didn't make anybody do it. If somebody wanted to get vaccinated, that was great. And they had like one of the lowest outbreaks.
I did hear about that, but I remember reading about it early on, and also reading that it was like relatively small country, that like it was a country that tourists don't go to visit all the time. So they would have very few people from outside of the country coming in. And there were, again, I don't know the details, but I remember there were a number of reasons that it's like, it was a very bad example to use to basically
Got it.
say, hey, if we had done that in the U.S., we would be fine.
I wonder how the prison system did. I
That's a
really
good question.
I'm really curious. How did the prison system do through? How was there any greater spike in any category or any socioeconomic classification of society? Any of that? Was there any better or worse, outcome for them? Any idea?
I don't know. If we haven't talked the damn pandemic to death already, I don't know. It is like coming up to Christmas and we're talking fucking politics.
Holy shit. Can you imagine that? Can you believe it is literally in March? It's going to be would it be 3 years? Yeah.
What's 3 years?
3 years. It will have been 3 years in March, it will have been 3 years since the pandemic started.
Oh, the pandemic. Yeah. That's
that. Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking Trump again. I don't know, but yes, you're right. It's crazy.
So the post office because the flu season, they reopened the ability to get your COVID tests. You can order up to 4 per household now. It's like
free ones. You mean?
I understand they probably have 4 billion of them sitting in a warehouse right now that are going to die. In the next 12 months if somebody doesn't use them. Like, hey, I have a good idea. Let's hope for the flu to come back so that we can get people to use all of these tests. Like, what would be, and Nice Guy community, I'm really curious what your thoughts are about this. What would be alternative uses for the COVID test? Okay. You can take any component of the COVID test. You can take the little swabs that
clean your ears, right? And use them like Q-tips. Yeah.
The swabs that are in there, you can use the packaging however you want. You can use the little antigen that's in there, whatever that liquid that's in there.
I've heard it makes a tasty cocktail. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, you make an old fashioned, put a couple drops of that in. Good.
It's like bitters. It's COVID bitters. That's it. I think I have a new use for the little liquid that they have in the Get your bitters. What are the other ones? Angostino, or what are those called?
That's bitter. That's like a manufacturer of bitters. That's the most famous one.
Bitters are very expensive. I don't know why bitters are so fucking expensive. It's like $14 for just
a tiny little bottle, right?
Tabasco size bottle.
I wonder what bitters actually are. What are they made
I don't know. They taste really good.
You've tasted them directly? I've never actually tasted a bitter.
Oh yeah, it's like highly concentrated version of whatever it is that's on the label. For example, there's a restaurant that's by me that makes something called an old-fashioned date, and it's different than a traditional old-fashioned. Traditional old-fashioned, it's bourbon and simple syrup and bitters and an orange, and the bitters are generally like an orange bitters, and in this old-fashioned date they use banana bitters. And it's really fucking good. They use a date also instead of the orange, and it tastes great. It changes the entire dynamic of the drink. I don't know what is in bitters though. Does it say?
So what bitters are typically made of? Orange peel, gentian root, cassia bark, cascarilla, and cinchona bark. But they're also 35 to 45% alcohol by volume. So there's a lot of alcohol. But I will have to taste them sometime. I've never actually tasted them.
All I've done was just, because it's almost like Tabasco, just put it just a drop on my tongue. And it's like, oh, that is a very unique flavor. It's almost like I'm surprised. I'm not surprised there's a bark in it, because it is kind of like a woodsy flavor that you get from it.
I might have to order more. Have you ever done that? You ever tasted vanilla? Just like raw vanilla?
Yeah, I don't like the raw taste of vanilla.
It's terrible. I'm a huge vanilla fan, but you don't realize that just a couple drops, like you take one drop and put it on your tongue, it's so concentrated. It has a completely different taste, and it's horrible. It's terrible. It's very interesting.
Ms. Better's Banana Bergamot Bitters.
That's a lot of...
that is a lot of bees. That's a lot of alliteration.
That's it, alliteration. That's the word I was looking for.
Let's see, caramelized fresh banana, with rich umami and fragrant bergamot citrus for balance. Great pairing for rum drinks.
Umami. Oh, for rum drinks. You see, I've always thought about it with whiskey.
$29 for just this little 2-ounce bottle.
I still might have to go out and get a bottle of bitters just to have some here. So there's a monster storm coming. I know you don't care in California.
What the fuck? Storms?
storm. Like, well, the reason I bring it up is not
You're
tomorrow, but
might be holed
Friday.
up. You might be holed up.
Yeah, Friday, the high on Friday, the whole day is going to be like 30 here in Austin. And it was like 70 last week, right?
If you
So
guys get
I'm
snow,
thinking,
you're in a fucked up again.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I better make sure I'm fucking stocked up, especially on booze.
Whatever you do, especially on booze.
Any excuse for more
your
booze.
priorities together.
Exactly.
Get your priorities. Get some booze. Shit. What was I going to say? Oh, hey, look. We've got to figure out, we've got some money to spend that's in the TurnKey account. We've got anything that you do from between now and the end of the year, just put it on your TurnKey
business
card.
expense. It's a business expense.
Yeah, and if it ends up being a personal expense, we'll reimburse or we'll just pay the taxes on it. But put everything that you have. I'm like trying to figure out, hey, can I hire my mom? I was asking you that. I'm like, I think you should hire your mom.
Yeah, I do have some more marketing expenses. We got that website proposal that I'm waiting on, and then I've got that other one that the marketing I did through the Federal Credit Union. That one too. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds
the APL Federal Credit Union. Remember that?
Yeah. Well,
to wrap my car.
I know what you mean.
That
Everybody
one, we can spend money on that marketing before the end of the year. Yeah.
Are you fucking gonna wrap your car? If you wrap your car, will you make it look like it's carbon fiber? I really want a car. I'm not gonna wrap your car.
It's my car payment. Don't tell the
oh! I won't. Yeah,
but I do like that carbon fiber look. Those are cool. I saw one the other day. I saw a Tesla that was wrapped, and it had one of those, like, you look at it from one side and it looked green, and then you turn and it's like that purplish.
Is that a wrap or is that paint? Is that a wrap or paint?
It's a wrap, yeah.
Damn. So it's almost like a holographic wrap.
Yeah, it is. And what's cool with the wraps, from what I've heard, like the good ones, they actually protect the paint. So a wrap, from what I understand, a good one will last 4 or 5 years before it kind of starts peeling and fading. But like if you pull it off, it'll come off clean and your regular finish will look like brand new.
It's kind of like the difference between using duct tape and gaff tape on a gig. you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, make sure that you get the guarantee that you got the gaff tape backing on your.
Not the duct tape.
Not the duct tape. No. Can you imagine the Texas heat with the with the rubber, whatever it is on the?
Yeah, I'd be like
adhesive.
stopped at a light and it would be dripping down the side of my car, right? And then it would stick to the tires. I wouldn't be able to drive off because it's so sticky.
Gaff tape versus duct tape. It's like a $5 a roll for duct tape and $25 a roll for gaff tape. But I'll tell you how much money I saved in cords because I used gaff tape as opposed to duct tape. Yeah. Duct tape, you cannot get off of jack shit.
Nope, you got to buy stuff. I think that's enough. I got an appointment with Walmart tonight.
All right, I'm having pizza tonight. I am very excited about tonight's menu. I've had some wine. I'm having pizza.
But what, is it like lactose-free pizza?
No, so it's interesting you say that. So if I have cheese every so often in moderation, it doesn't affect me.
Oh, that's good.
If I have like cheese pizza one day and then tomorrow I have, I don't know, a cheese omelet, fuck it, forget it. I'm finished. I'm done.
Yeah.
And right sense. Now it's a little chilly here in California. It kind of gets down into the 40s at night.
That's pretty chilly.
I'm not digging that. I'm not. And my nose is getting a little stuffed up because of it. No, I just ordered a whole house humidifier. Thank you, TurnKey.
Hey, we got money to spend. We got to get rid of it.
We got to get rid of some of this money. So Nice Guy Community.
We need to take business losses like Trump.
Look, if anybody needs a handout, now is the time to ask us. It's happening now, between now and the end of the year. All right, everybody. We'll see you on that week between Christmas and New Year's. Yes, we will be here because we are dedicated to you, the Nice Guy Community.
Time to make the donuts.
Until then, Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Thanks for listening. Bartender, Doug here's going to have a Cosmo, and Strickland is going to have a Fireball on the rocks. Not the little glass. Yeah, the big one, the 24-ouncer. Oh, and they'd both like a little umbrella. Just give me the bottle and charge them as much as you can. I told Bill that if they move my desk one more time, then I'm quitting. I'm going to quit. They moved my desk 4 times already this year. I used to be over by the window, and I could see the squirrels, and they were merry, but then they switched from the swing line to the Boston stapler. But I kept my swing line stapler because it didn't bind up as much, and I kept the staples for the swing line stapler, and it's not okay because if they take my stapler, then I'll set the building on fire, and I might even start listening to the Nice Guys on Business podcast. That'll teach them. Human beings were not meant to sit in little cubicles staring at computer screens all day, filling out useless forms and listening to 8 different bosses drone on about mission statements. We were meant to listen to the Nice Guys on Business podcast. You know what, Stan? If you want me to wear 37 pieces of flair, like your pretty boys over there, the Nice Guys on Business, why don't you just make the minimum 37 pieces of flair? So I was sitting in my cubicle today, and I realized, ever since I started working, every single day of my life has been worse than the day before it. So that means that every single day that you see me, that's the worst day of my life. At least until I listen to the Nice Guys on Business podcast.